Court is now in session for the trial of Mr. Miles Edgeworth. And welcome back to another episode of Phoenix Wright, Ace Attorney for another Phoenix Friday. I'm Dr. Charles, and with me is my fiancée, Em.
Hi!
And we're going to knock this trial out and put Von Karma in his place again. So, let's go. The defense is ready, Your Honor. Very well, apparently the prosecution's also ready. I'm not putting up with it today. Who is the judge here anyway? Mr. Von Karma, your opening statement.
Oh my god.
Very well, no opening statement, so... Not so fast, Judge. I was taking a meaningful pause before speaking.
Okay.
Right, of course. A prediction. Today's trial will end 3 minutes from now. Wow.
3 minutes?
Who do you think you are? Is this like anime time or real time?
I don't know.
Order! Order! Mr. Von Karma, what is the meaning of your statement just now? Bah! Must you question everything? It will be over in 3 minutes. We will have no time to waste. I'll call my witness now. Right. I call my witness, my decisive witness, to the stand. It's that mysterious boat shop owner.
Oh, great.
Witness, state your profession.
He's not saying the name.
He isn't saying the name, you're right. I am the proprietor of restaurant, The Wet Noodle, at Gourd Lake. And I also rent boats. The night of the incident, you were in the boat rental shop, correct? Yep, I was. Please testify. Wait a second. We still haven't heard who this old guy is. Raise an objection. Wait a minute. The witness hasn't stated his name yet. Because I did not ask him, Mr. Wright. Bah! I've predicted this trial will end in 3 minutes. Not today, it won't. Stop asking trivial questions and cooperate. Yeah, right. The witness will state his name. Well, I'm not really sure. What do you mean?
This is going great.
My, memory? Your Honor, the witness does not remember anything beyond the last several years.
But he doesn't know his name?
Ergo, he cannot recall his own name. He can't recall, you say? Yes, but the indictment in question took place 3 days ago.
The incident.
He can testify. Very well.
No!
Let's hear his testimony then, shall we? Witness? Well, that's not fair. You know, somebody with, like, this much brain damage I don't think should be a valid witness, right?
Right?
The night of the murder. It was the night of the 24th, just after midnight. I was in the restaurant, renting boats, as usual. Then I heard a bang. Yep. When I looked out the window, I saw a boat just floating on the lake. Then I heard another bang. Just about then, the boat comes back to shore, and a man walks by my window. Very well. I'd like to begin the cross-examination. Oh my god. There's nothing to question in my witness testimony.
I cannot stand
Ergo,
him.
no need for cross-examination. Besides, there are only 10 seconds left before our 3 minutes are up. Well, then you were wrong. Judge, your verdict, now. How did you can't... Mr. Wright, cross-examine.
Of course we're gonna cross-examine.
What are you saying? Of course I'll cross-examine the witness. Very well, you may begin. Oh my god.
He got so
Excuse
mad.
me, Mr. Von Karma. 3 minutes just passed!
Well, that's what you get for
I
being
see.
an
Well
asshole.
then, let's just take our time. You may cross-examine the witness. Good God.
3 times.
Just about then the boat comes back to shore and a man. Who is the man? By your window? Yep, by my window. Right outside the window. And could you see the man's face? Well, the fog was pretty darn thick, but he was right there in front of me. I saw him. This is a rather important detail. Please add it to your testimony. Tisk, tisk, tisk. I have a bad feeling about this. That man was the defendant. He was saying, I can't believe he's dead. Are you sure? Uh-oh. Dad! In court. The court's like, oh god. Dead certain, Keith! He said, I can't believe he's dead! As he was walking by, too! Witness, are you sure that the person you saw was Miles Edgeworth? It was him! That Edgeworth boy!
Did he just pass out?
This sounds like decisive evidence indeed. I see no room for doubt. Von Karma. He lured me into cross-examining so he could set me up for the fall. Tisk, tisk, tisk.
Nick, I don't like the way things are going here.
I was wondering if you were in here or not, because you were in contempt.
Everyone in the courtroom is glaring at us.
I better act quick or this trial is going to be over. Raise an objection?
Yeah.
Your Honor, we proved in yesterday's trial that it could not have been Edgeworth who fired that gun. Mr. Wright, are you referring to the fingerprints from Edgeworth's right hand found on the gun? And the photograph showing a man firing with his left hand?
He's gonna say that he flipped the photograph.
Oh, exactly. Not today, you're not. This isn't easily explainable. He could have wiped his prints after he fired. You're ignoring the truth of the matter here.
No.
Everything in this witness testimony is true.
Pause.
I like that you're mad enough you're reaching over to grab the mouse.
No. I cannot wait until Von Karma gets
The
out of
judge
my
is
face.
lost in thought. What should I do? Raise another objection. Your Honor, this witness claims that Edgeworth said, I can't believe he's dead, but his word is all we have. If he were telling a lie... Mr. Wright, in a court of law, the evidence tells all. Apparently, you have not to realize even this basic fact. If you say his testimony is a lie, show us proof.
Nick, do we have any evidence?
It's no good. There's nothing I can do.
Are you sure?
To be honest, I don't know what to do anymore.
Please? Can you hear me, sis? Please? We need your help. Nick needs you.
Tisk, tisk, tisk. 3 minutes was perhaps too high an expectation.
Oh my god.
However, 15 minutes isn't bad. This must be a new record. Enough. The witness may leave the stand. Really? This court sees no reason for further prolong the trial, nor is there any need for more time to decide the case against the defendant. This case is extremely clear. I see no room for misinterpretation of the facts. What? No. This court finds the defendant Mr. Miles Edgeworth. What?!
No!
The accused will surrender the court immediately. Did we lose?
I think we did.
Did we really?
I think so.
What do we do? Wait. Who's wait? I don't know who this is. Oh my god, did we not lose? Who was that just now? Me? Huh? What? Larry? Larry is in this trial!
Oh my god.
What are you doing here? Listen, you gotta listen to me. I was there, in the park the night of the murder. I wasn't sure about it till just yesterday, but today I remembered. Remembered what? The gunshot. I heard it too. Order! What's the meaning of this? The verdict has been decided. I call for an adjournment. One moment, Mr. Von Karma. So you say you heard a gunshot? Yeah, I did. A gunshot that night. I was sitting here in the audience listening to the testimony. Then I realized something he said was different from what I remember.
Yes,
Thank
Larry.
you, Larry. Anyhow, I can't just sit here anymore and let you call Edgy a murder. It's just not right. I'll testify. Let me testify. Order! Order! Well, this is the first time something has happened like this in my court. I'm not quite sure how to proceed. Judge, you've already given your decision. The trial is over.
Nick, This is it. Larry's giving us a final chance at this.
She's right. If only it wasn't Larry. He could make things even worse.
Mr. Edgeworth was just declared guilty, Nick. It doesn't get any worse.
You're right. Okay. Your Honor, if there is another witness, it is our duty to hear him speak. Right here, right now. A waste of time. The verdict cannot be overturned. Allow me to speak my opinion. In all court proceedings, it is our duty to prevent an inaccurate verdict. In order to make sure no mistakes have been made, every witness should be heard. What is this? I withdraw my previous verdict of guilty. Whoo! Mr. Von Karma, I order you to call this new witness to testify. Now! What? The court will adjourn for a 5-minute recess. After that, we will hear this new witness. Court is adjourned. Dang. I really thought we lost.
Oh, that was intense, me too.
I really thought we lost. Whew. That was too close. Sorry to keep you on the edge of your seat like that, Edgeworth.
Oh my god.
I've seen worse. Yeah, right, Edgeworth. You're sweating bullets. I just wonder what Larry plans to say in there.
Larry was at the lake that night.
Yes. He said he went looking for the steel samurai balloon that flew into the lake.
Oh, right.
And he found the balloon in the air tank that night. Oh, that was you.
And he found the balloon in the air tank that night.
Yeah. Hey, Edgeworth. Huh? You say something right? Yeah, a lot of things. You seem out of it. What's wrong? It's nothing.
Mr. Edgeworth, there's something I've been meaning to ask you.
What's that?
Why are your fingerprints on the murder weapon?
Good point. Oh. When he fell into the lake, I went in a daze. I couldn't understand what had happened. I couldn't think straight. Then I saw the pistol lying on the floor of the boat in front of me. I picked it up without thinking. I didn't have a reason, really. That would make sense. I can see. Oh, you don't think so?
I mean, that maybe, but he can't use the
right.
I guess he can use the fingerprints.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This might be our chance. Our chance? Von Karma has only ever run perfect trials. Perfect trials? Perfectly prepared witnesses, perfectly complete evidence. That's the secret to his success. This is the first time he's ever had to deal with something unexpected.
Ooh.
He has to let someone he hasn't even talked to testify before the court. And that someone is Larry. What are you getting at? It's likely his testimony will be full of holes, right?
That's right, Nick. No 10-minute trial this time. We'll milk this one for all it's worth.
Hey, it was 15 minutes. 15. Everything's on Larry now. Come on, Larry, you can do it. Court is now back in session. Witness, please testify to the court about everything that you saw on the night of December 24th. Right, leave it to me. Please, Larry, don't mess this one up. I hate to admit it, but you're our last chance. Von Karma didn't even have time to prep his witness. I just hope Edgeworth is right about this being our big break. Alright, Larry, what you got? That night I was out in a boat on the lake. I was looking for something, and I found it. So I quietly slipped the boat back into the rental shop dock. Then, just as I was thinking about going home, I heard this bang. I looked out over the lake, but I didn't see a boat. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. That wasn't a lot.
Great testimony, Larry. Great testimony.
That was an unusually vague testimony even for this court. In any case, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination. Yes, Your Honor.
What's wrong, Nick?
It's Larry. I have no idea what he's going to say if I press him. I'm a little scared.
Well, we've come this far. There's no way to go but forward, Nick.
All right. So after I heard that single gunshot, I went home. He said single. So you only heard one bang, correct? Yeah. 2 sounds like gunshots.
Yeah, let's do lotus.
Yes.
Ooh.
Wait a sec, Larry. What? You only heard 1 bang? You're sure? That's what I said. But Miss Lotta Hart testified yesterday that she heard 2 bangs. And the old man just now said the same thing. They both heard 2 gunshots that night. Huh? Were you even listening? Were you paying attention at all to what they said? Yo, Nick, please! Huh? You know, something's been bothering me. I'm a witness, see? I'm like a customer here. So you gotta treat me nice and stuff, okay? Mr. Butz? What? You only heard 1 gunshot, are you sure? Well, to tell you the truth, I'm not sure. Eh? Not sure? How could you not be sure? Yeah, well, I might have missed the other gunshot. I was, listening to something else. Something else? My radio, dude, with my headphones.
Oh my god.
What? How is that gonna help?
It's not.
Order, and stop that booing. Mr. Butz, you were listening to the radio with your headphones. Yeah, so what? That a crime? I listen to my radio. Everybody listens to the radio. What's the big deal? Mr. Von Karma, your opinion? Waste of time. I do not accept this witness nor his shoddy testimony.
Well, I'm sorry, but you have to.
Well, Mr. Wright, should he continue his testimony? He's got to.
Yes.
Nothing's more pitiful than a lawyer who doesn't know when he's lost.
You, Karma, you.
Yeah, you're pitiful. Please give your testimony and be sure to include details like your radio. Right, leave it to me. I wouldn't if there were any other way out of this, believe me. Did you hear the cat?
I did.
Peaches is looking at her.
He's like...
He's like, what's wrong with you?
I know that you guys didn't hear it, but our cat just... Oh, yeah.
It's lonely being alone on Christmas Eve.
God bless.
That's why I was listening to an all-request show on the radio, see? I was listening to it real booming loud like, but I'm sure I heard that gunshot. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying when I heard it too. Judge, can you believe a word this witness says? What he has heard was probably nothing more than a drum beat from the radio. Now, true enough, it is difficult to believe this testimony. Wait, Your Honor. The witness said he remembers exactly what the DJ said when he heard the gunshot. Excuse me? DJ? An announcer, the guy who says things on the radio. Anyway, what this means is when he heard the sound, no music was playing. The DJ only talks between songs, so he could have heard the gunshot from the lake. Good point. I'd like to cross-examine the witness, Your Honor. Very well, Mr. Wright. I can't believe I'm continuing this charade. Charade. I remember exactly what the DJ was saying. What was he saying? What did she say? Mr. Wright, please cease these pointless questions.
You cease your
What possible
pointless
good
being.
could knowing what a radio DJ said do us? Indeed, Mr. Von Karma has a point. I'll allow the question only if you see some reason why we should care. We should care. We should care, Your Honor. Of course we should. Why? Well, how do you know if we don't ask him, huh? Fine. Very well. Mr. Butz, please testify to the court. What was the radio announcer saying when you heard the gunshot? Just when she said, hey, it's almost Christmas, I heard the gunshot. This is the most ludicrous testimony I've ever heard. But there is one gleaming ray of hope in there.
Phoenix.
I've got to press, it's almost Christmas, so it was before midnight.
Yeah.
Before midnight?
I think so.
Taken automatically at 12:15.
On 12:25 at 12:15 a.m.
Yeah, which is
So, yes.
midnight, yeah.
Yeah.
Boom!
Woo woo!
Larry, are you absolutely sure what you're saying is correct? Huh? What's with the face? You look scary, dude. If you're trying to scare me, you better know I don't scare that easy. As he sweats.
Right.
Is something the matter, Mr. Wright? Your Honor, did you hear what he witness just said? The DJ said, hey, it's almost Christmas, when he heard the gunshot. Indeed, and? Almost Christmas means it wasn't Christmas. Do you realize what this means? When he heard the gunshot, it was still Christmas Eve.
Uh-oh.
That would seem to be the case, yes.
Uh-oh.
But he should have heard the gunshot after midnight. The photograph is irrefutable proof of this fact. Let's see what the time was on the photo taken with the gun-triggered Miss Hart's camera. 15. 15 minutes after midnight on Christmas Day. I can't talk. This is a clear contradiction, Your Honor. Order! Order! What does this mean? The two prior witnesses heard gunshots after midnight. However, this witness says he heard a gunshot before midnight. 1 before midnight, 2 after midnight would make 3 times that the gun was fired.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Judge, the answer is simple. The current witness is plainly mistaken.
You're plainly mistaken.
Just look at him. Suspicious.
You're suspicious.
What?
I can't stand him.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you think about Mr. Butz's claim he heard the gunshot?
I think
Larry's
he's right.
Larry's not mistaken, Your Honor. He heard that gunshot before midnight. Intriguing. I'm assuming you have evidence for this wild claim. Show me evidence there was a gunshot before midnight. That it was fired 3 times?
No, wait, hold on. Before midnight.
Oh. Because from the... Yeah, we got it from Lotta. I remember.
Yeah.
Take that, buddy! Look at this photograph. This was taken by our witness yesterday, Miss Lotta Hart, with her automatic camera. The timestamp on the photo reads December 24th, 11:50 p.m. Oh? But there's nothing on the lake in this picture. Your Honor, the real issue here is not why nothing is shown in this photograph. It is why the photograph exists at all. What do you mean? Your Honor, this photograph was taken by an automatic camera. That camera was set to go off in response to loud noises. Aha! Correct. There was a loud noise on the lake at 11:50 p.m. That is why the photograph was taken. In other words, when Larry heard that gunshot, it was most definitely still Christmas Eve. Indeed, it would seem that is the case. Then where does this leave us? Miss Hart testified that she heard the gunshots after midnight. Are you claiming she was mistaken? Not at all, Your Honor. It is a fact that the camera also triggered at 15 minutes after midnight. Your Honor, that night there were 2 sets of gunshots within 25-minute pause between them. Why?
I don't know.
Why would this be?
Oh my god!
Don't be fooled, Judge. That camera was set to respond to loud noises. Yes? There is no proof that the loud noise at 11:50 was a gunshot. Why the witness could have sneezed, triggering the camera. Hey, my nose was clear that night, man. Clear! Well, Mr. Wright, there's no turning back now. Can you prove that the loud noise at 11:50 was indeed a gunshot? Please show us the evidence.
Fired 3 times.
This is my evidence. The murder weapon?
Well, duh.
Something about this pistol was bothering me, Your Honor. Both of the witnesses testified yesterday heard 2 gunshots. However, the murder weapon was fired 3 times. When, then, was the last shot fired? Only now have I realized the truth. That 3rd shot was the shot Larry heard just before midnight.
Boom, boom, boom. Boom!
Whooping him.
Kicking
Order,
butt and taking
order.
names.
That would make sense of the evidence we've seen so far. However, this leaves me wondering exactly what did happen that night on the lake. Exactly. If this is true, there were 2 sets of gunshots separated by 25 minutes. One at 11:50, another at 15 minutes after midnight. Why, I ask you? Why? Uh-oh, I better think of something quick. Wait a second. Gunshots separated by 25 minutes. Ah!
What's wrong, Nick?
I have it! I have it!
Huh?
Remember the case with the Steel Samurai?
Huh? Yeah, of course, I remember.
Where you going,
I was
Phoenix?
there.
The murderer in that case had the same idea as the murderer of this case.
What do you mean?
Maya,
Yes?
if we don't figure this out now, we'll never overturn Edros' guilty verdict. I've got a hunch, and I'm gonna run with it.
Okay. Right. I mean, is this safe?
Safe? We've already gotten a guilty verdict. We have nothing to lose. You just
Okay.
watch and let me know if I say anything that sounds fishy, okay?
Right, Nick.
Your Honor, Yes, Mr. Wright. The testimony just now has cleared up the entire case.
Ooh.
Big brain, Phoenix.
Big brain.
What do you mean,
brain.
Mr. Wright? Tisk. So you finally realized the truth. There can be no other murderer here than Miles Edgeworth himself.
Wrong. He
False.
didn't do it.
Wrong, Von Karma.
Oh, okay.
A man who was shot that night, but it wasn't Edgeworth who did the shooting.
It was.
Oh, yes, it was. Listen, rookie. Take a deep breath and consider the facts. At the time of the murder, one boat was on that lake. This was shown by the witness photograph. The defendant, Edgeworth, and the victim, Robert Hammond, were on that boat. There was a gunshot fired on that boat and Robert Hammond fell into the lake. The distance of the shooting was 1 meter. It couldn't have been suicide.
Well, we know that.
Well, the guilty party has to be the other man on that boat. I admit it is hard to imagine any other possibility. Yes, but this assumes that the victim was shot at 15 minutes after midnight. Sometime on the 24th or 25th. We have photographic evidence of the time of the shooting. Oh, yeah, that's just...
Well, okay, we're wrong.
The timestamp on the photo says... Well, I didn't choose anything. He's just saying this.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. The timestamp on the photo says 00:15. But Larry heard a gunshot 25 minutes before that. Robert Hammond was killed then, 25 minutes before the shot on the lake. That's the only way that Edgeworth could be innocent. Mr. Wright, are you quite mad? Explain who the two men on the boat are. So Edgeworth and Hammond is the original scenario.
Yes.
So I'm imagining it's not that one.
But we already know that Hammond was dead beforehand.
Okay,
according
so
to this thing.
if we're assuming that...
Hammond was dead.
Right, then it
would have to be Edgeworth
and
the murderer.
Of course, it was Edgeworth and the murderer.
The murderer?
After the murderer killed Robert Hammond at 11:50, he assumed the guise of Mr. Hammond and met Edgeworth.
Oh.
That would make sense.
Yes.
What? Are you serious? Yes, and Edgeworth won't tell us why he went to the lake that night. However, I have a hunch. That night, Robert Hammond called Edgeworth to the lake. Now, Edgeworth didn't know Robert Hammond's face that well. That's true.
Yeah.
That's why he didn't suspect anything when the murderer took Robert Hammond's place. I'm not sure what to make of all this. Ludicrous.
Oh, he stuttered.
Mr. Wright, tell us the name of the murderer, then. The murderer's name? Right, it's Von Karma. Oh. I don't know. Actually, I don't know the murderer's name. You don't know? Bah, again you waste my time.
You waste my time with your...
I don't know
sex.
because he never told us.
Big oof.
The murderer's the caretaker of the boat shop.
Wait, what? The murderer is the caretaker of that boat shop, that old man.
It can't. At 11:50, he was the one who killed Robert Hammond. The caretaker of the boat shop? Where did he do this? There weren't any boats on the lake then. Why would he have to go all the way out on the lake just to shoot someone? May I suggest that the real scene of this crime was not on the boat? What? Well then, where did this murder take place? The boat rental shop?
I think so, yeah. Ooh.
Here, of course, the boat shop where he lives. That way he can meet with the victim without anyone seeing. Do you have proof that the boat shop was the scene of the crime? Recall Larry's testimony, if you will. Good job, Larry. That night, he was out on the lake in a boat, searching for something. He finds it and then returns the boat. Then, just as he's starting to head for home, he hears a gunshot. Okay, yeah, that would make sense. He heard a gunshot, Your Honor. Even though he was wearing headphones at the time. So he was close.
Oh, he was close.
In other words, the gunshot was very, very close by. And where would that be if he had just returned a boat? The boat shop!
The boot shop!
Mr. Wright, what happened that night at Gourd Lake? Please tell the court from the beginning. Yes, Your Honor.
Nick, are you so sure about this?
Not really.
But here we
But
go.
I think if I start at the very beginning, and I take it slow, I might just be able to figure this out. That night, the caretaker of the boat shop called Robert Hammond to his shop.
Oh.
Oh.
Boom.
This was around 11:50. That was when the gunshot that Larry heard was fired. After that, the caretaker put on Robert Hammond's coat. He became Robert Hammond. Then he got in the boat with Edgeworth and went out into the middle of the lake. Then who fired the pistol on the boat, Mr. Wright?
The
Boat shop.
yeah. Oh.
Of course, it was the murderer who shot the pistol. Okay. He shot twice. Both missed Edgeworth on purpose. Wait a minute. Yes? Why would he shoot twice if he didn't mean to
good
hit
point.
anyone? Details. Know this, Mr. Wright. The moment you run out of explanations is the moment you lose.
Shut up!
Tell us why the murderer had to fire twice.
I think so. I think it's to
Well, he wasn't aiming at Edgeworth, so he couldn't.
Right, yeah.
I believe he shot twice to create a witness, Your Honor. Create a witness? The murderer lifts his pistol and fires one shot. That ensures that anyone who heard the shot would look at the lake. Indeed, Miss Hart did exactly that after hearing the first gunshot. Next, the murderer waits a bit and he fires again. Then,
He jumps into the
he hops
water.
off. Now, how is this guy doing all this, though? The
I
murderer
don't
jumps
know.
from the boat himself. Is he like a sleeper agent?
Maybe.
Leaving the pistol in the boat behind him. I see. To someone looking from the side edge of the lake, it would appear that one of the men in the boat had shot the other. The murderer didn't know about the automatic camera, of course. That's why he shot twice, to draw attention to the boat.
Ah.
Once you realize that, everything else falls into place. The boat shop caretaker swam back to his shop. Then he put Mr. Hammond's wet coat back on the body, and threw the body into the lake. This is what happened, Your Honor. These are the events that transpired that night on the Gourd Lake. No objection, Von Karma? Bailiff, bring out the witness from before. The boat shop caretaker, quickly!
Uh-oh.
Very well. While we are waiting for the caretaker, I would like to ask the defendant Miles Edgeworth a few questions. Mr. Edgeworth, please take the stand. Edgy boy.
Aw.
Mr. Edgeworth, you heard what the defense has said? Yes. Well, why did you go to the lake that night? What Wright has said is mostly correct. Astonishingly so, actually.
Ha!
Yes. Several days ago, I received a letter. The letter was signed Robert Hammond. He asked me to come to the boat shop by the lake that midnight on Christmas Eve. He said he had something very important to discuss with me. Something important? I'm sorry. I can't say what it was.
It's the
Bailiff?
Oh, I'll do
You
it.
be the bailiff.
Should we do it?
You're like a grumpy lady, like.
Your Honor,
Bailiff, we are conducting a trial here. I ask you to remain quiet.
the witness has disappeared. He isn't at the boat shop either.
What? What? Oh,
What should I do?
he's on a run. Find him quickly. We cannot allow him to get away. Look how attentive he is.
I
He's like,
know.
"Meh." Wow, that was a lot.
That was a lot.
Mr. Von Karma, your witness has disappeared. A search warrant's already been issued. It goes without saying that I cannot declare a verdict under these circumstances. I will extend the trial until tomorrow, the final day allowed. I request that the police department utilize all its forces to find that witness. Am I understood? One more thing. Just who is that boat shop caretaker? I think his identity has become very important to this trial. I want him, and I want to know who he is. Very well. Court is adjourned. And so is this episode of Phoenix Wright. We will see you guys next Friday for another exciting episode where we're going to find
Do the
this
investigation.
brain damaged, maybe not brain damaged guy and figure out what the
Maybe.
heck he is.
We'll be done with Mr. Von Karma soon. Maybe.
See you guys later.
Bye.